The last part of the Chapter 4 is about LCA of fuel cell electric vehicles. There are several reasons why hydrogen is the most promising decarbonization option for various vehicles. Firstly, hydrogen provides a pathway to full decarbonization. Another significant reason is that hydrogen infrastructure has significant benefits at scale compared to the fast charging, faster refueling, more flexible load and less space requirements. Hydrogen is the best option for road transport, trains and ships, and hydrogen-based synthetic fuels can decarbonize aviation. Hydrogen is considered a low-emission fuel. Hydrogen is one of the most crucial sources of clean energy supported by the European Union, but in order for hydrogen to be recognized as green under the European policy, it should be produced from only renewable energy sources. Hydrogen can be obtained from different sources. It may be green, blue, or gray, what is shown in the diagram. Green hydrogen is produced from zero-emission renewable sources such as wind or sun. Hydrogen is blue when no additional emission is generated in the production process, which is the case of process using specific technology. Like example is carbon capture and storage to achieve net zero emission. Gray hydrogen is produced from additional emission. Unfortunately, this category accounts for 95% of all the hydrogen currently produced worldwide. The diagram shows the main sources used for hydrogen production in the world. The most popular hydrogen production methods are conversion of natural gas and hydrocarbons, crude oil, gasification of coal and biomass, recovery of coke oven gas, and water electrolysis. To understand environmental impacts of hydrogen life cycle for transport application, it has to be done life cycle assessment. Fuel cell electric vehicles are alternative to conventional internal combustion engine vehicles. The environmental assessment of fuel cell electric vehicles life cycle covered stages of hydrogen life cycle and vehicles life cycle. So, feedstock production and transport, hydrogen production and distribution, vehicles body production, fuel cell production, and fuel cell electric vehicles use. Fuel cell electric vehicles is electric vehicles because it is used an electric motor to power the vehicles. The fuel cell electric vehicles uses hydrogen as a fuel and converts chemical energy into energy, and the byproducts are heat and water vapor. The energy conversion efficiency of the fuel cell is higher than a conventional gasoline engine. The diagram shows the fuel cell electric vehicles component included in the life cycle analysis. The main objective of the study is to provide life cycle greenhouse gas emission assessment of fuel cell electrics with the hydrogen production. The diagram shows the results of greenhouse gas emission analysis for fuel cell electric vehicles. Based on the analysis, it was found that the lowest emission factor is for fuel cell electric vehicles from hydrogen production, which is from electrolysis and biomass gasification, while the highest emission are for hydrogen from coal, especially from coal gasification without carbon capture and storage. Hydrogen is considered the fuel of the future for transportation. However, in order to evaluate the environmental effects of these vehicles, it is necessary to take into account the analysis both the environmental impacts during the use of the vehicles and also the environmental impacts of hydrogen produced and the entire structure and components of vehicles. The results of the analysis showed that renewable electricity sources and improved fuel cell technology have a significant impact on reducing the negative environmental impacts of fuel cell electric vehicles. Life cycle assessment is the most suitable analytical method for the analysis of the life cycle of the vehicles and fuels, which allows the identification and assessment of environmental impact of process, technologies, materials, and energy consumed. After this chapter, you will understand following terms: importance of LCA in automotive sector, LCA of battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles, environmental footprint assessment, LCA of electric vehicles battery charging, carbon, water and resources footprint of energy sources, model of environmental footprints for electric vehicles battery charging, and hydrogen as the promising decarbonization option for vehicles. After the chapter 4, you will be able to answer the following question. What is the importance of LCA to the automotive sector? What is the environmental footprint? How do energy sources influence environmental footprints? How does the life cycle of vehicles affect carbon footprint? How does the life cycle of vehicles affect the water and resources footprint? What are the sources of the hydrogen production? What are the results of LCA on internal combustion engines? So diesel and petrol vehicles, battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles. And why is hydrogen the most promising decarbonization option for vehicles? So here are the most important publications, including the publication of the author of the MOOC, aLIFEca. Get knowledge about the life cycle approach in transport with MOOC, aLIFEca.